the most dangerous Mercury engine ever built. And what they replaced it with Mercury, built an engine in the late 1990s that mechanics called opti-bombs. Then they spent 20 years fixing everything that went wrong with it. This is both stories. Number 6. What the early Mercury Optimax actually was. In 1996, Mercury launched the Optimax, a two-stroke direct injection outboard that was genuinely ahead of its time in concept. Instead of premixing oil and fuel the way traditional two-strokes did, the Optimax injected fuel and oil separately directly into the cylinder under high pressure. The combustion was cleaner. The fuel efficiency was measurably better. The power delivery was strong. On paper, it was the engine that should have made every other two-stroke obsolete. The first production runs suggested exactly that. Early testers praised the power and the efficiency. Mercury promoted it heavily. Dealers were optimistic. And then the returns started coming in. Number 5. What went wrong? The problems that emerged in the 1998 through 2001 production years clustered around the same core issue. The oil injection system was failing in ways that damaged engines from the inside without warning. Seals under the cylinder had leaked, causing carbon buildup that scored cylinder walls. The EMM computer modules corroded prematurely from moisture intrusion, sending engines into limp modes or shutting them down entirely while running. High-pressure fuel pump failures were frequent and expensive, with replacement costs running over $2,000 per pump. Air compressor failures contaminated the fuel rail and direct injectors simultaneously. Oil lines cracked, oil pumps failed. And when an oil supply problem occurred on a two-stroke engine, the result was typically catastrophic and fast. A two-stroke running without adequate oil lubrication does not slowly degrade. It seizes, and it does so within minutes of the problem starting. Mechanics on the hull. Truth forums coined the term opti-bomb, specifically for the early big block V6 versions in the 150 through 225 horsepower range, where the failure rates were highest. Mercury's own service data from this period showed failure rates significantly above industry norms for new engine introductions. The boating community's nickname for the worst of these, opti-bombs, was not hyperbole. It was a warning that mechanics shared with each other and that filtered into every used boat buying guide written about this era of Mercury products. The specific models most affected were the big block V6 configurations in the 150 through 225 horsepower range from 1998 through 2001. Smaller displacement models and 2002 and later versions were substantially better, but the reputation damage spread across the entire product line regardless of model year, which frustrated Mercury's engineers, who had actually solved the core problems. A 2001 engine with 36 warranty claims in 30 months on a single pair of motors was documented by a mechanic in Florida as an example of what the worst early production units looked like. Diagnosing failures required proprietary dealer tools that most independent mechanics did not have, which meant stranded owners were also locked out of their usual repair networks while waiting for authorized service. Number 4. What Mercury did about it. Mercury did not walk away from the Optimax. They fixed it systematically. The 2002 model year saw significant improvements to the injector system. By 2006, the Optimax had become a genuinely competitive and reliable engine with a strong following among tournament anglers and performance boaters who valued the two-stroke power delivery and lighter weight compared to four strokes in the same horsepower class. The redesigned electric oil pumps replaced the mechanical versions that had been failing. Improved seals addressed the moisture intrusion that was killing EMM modules. Better injector quality reduced the lean condition failures that were scoring cylinder walls. Mechanics who had refused to recommend the early Optimax were recommending the 2006 and later versions without hesitation. Mercury had turned the engine around, but the damage to the Optimax reputation from those early production years never fully recovered in the minds of buyers who remembered the bad years. The used market tells the story plainly. A late-model Optimax from 2008 or 2010 in good mechanical condition trades at a discount compared to equivalent Yamaha four-strokes from the same period, because the Optimax name still carries a stigma that the engineering no longer deserves. That reputation gap costs sellers money and creates genuine value opportunities for buyers who know enough to identify a well-maintained later unit. Number 3. Why Mercury ultimately walked away anyway. Even with the improvements, the Optimax faced a structural problem that no amount of engineering fixes could solve. The entire outboard market was moving away from two-strokes. Environmental regulations were tightening. Four-stroke technology was improving rapidly. Mercury's own Verado line, launched in 2004, was demonstrating that four-stroke engines could match two-stroke power and weight while exceeding them on emissions, fuel economy, and refinement. By 2018, Mercury had ended Optimax production entirely, phasing out the remaining 200 through 300 horsepower big block models and replacing them with the new V6 and V8 naturally aspirated four-stroke lineup. The four-stroke 200 through 300 horsepower engines that replaced the Optimax were built on an entirely different engineering philosophy, with no shared components and no inherited problems. Number 2, what replaced it and why it matters. Mercury's V6 and V8 four-stroke lineup, introduced fully in 2018, represents the direct answer to everything that went wrong with the early Optimax. Naturally aspirated, no supercharger, no direct injection complexity, no oil injection system to fail. The 4.6-liter V8 four-stroke in the 250 and 300 horsepower configurations uses dual overhead cam technology with electronic fuel injection that Mercury has been refining for decades in the Verado platform. The weight is higher than the old two-stroke Optimax, but the reliability profile is fundamentally different. There is no CDI oil system. There is no EMM module managing a high-pressure injection sequence. There is no proprietary diagnostic requirement locking owners out of independent service. The service interval for the modern four-stroke is 200 hours for most items, compared to the more demanding schedule the Optimax required to stay healthy. Commercial operators who put serious hours on their engines have gravitated toward the four-stroke lineup for exactly these reasons. The maintenance schedule is longer than the Optimax required. Parts are widely available. Any Mercury dealer can service it without specialized training or proprietary tools. Mechanics who spent years dreading Optimax service calls describe the modern four-stroke lineup as the engine Mercury always should have been building for the mainstream market. Number 1, what this means if you are buying a used Mercury today. The used market is full of Optimax engines, and the year matters enormously. A 2006 or later Optimax from a well-maintained boat with documented service history is a genuinely capable engine. A 1998 through 2001 Optimax with unknown history or incomplete service records is a different conversation entirely. The pre-purchase inspection requirement on any early Optimax is not optional. Compression tests, injector flow tests, EMM diagnostics, and a full oil system inspection are the minimum before money changes hands. The mechanics who work on these engines know exactly what to look for, and the cost of that inspection is trivial compared to the cost of a powerhead replacement on an engine that turned out to be carrying hidden damage from its earliest years. The broader point is that Mercury's story with the Optimax is one of the most instructive case studies in the history of outboard engineering. A genuinely innovative engine rushed to market with component quality that did not match the ambition of the design. A decade of systematic improvements that turned it into a reliable product. And then a final decision to move entirely to four-stroke technology that rendered all of that history irrelevant. The modern Mercury four-stroke lineup that replaced the Optimax does not share any of the original problems. But the lesson about buying early production units of any ambitious new engine technology applies every single time a manufacturer pushes a major new platform to market,